What's up, guys? This is TheKephas.
Welcome to Class Course, where we take a brief look at a specific class in World of Warcraft and break down the essentials of their core rotation. This isn't a comprehensive guide, it's designed to get you up and running. So, to keep things short and simple, we're just going to focus on the rotation for now. But if you're curious about the talent build I'm using for this guide, the link is in the description. Today we're going to talk about how to play an Elemental Shaman in patch 11.1 of The War Within. Now, for Elemental Shamans, you have a number of random effects that will activate, and taking advantage of these effects is key. However, this is a beginner's guide, and my goal here is to keep things as simple as possible by not getting lost too much in the details. So we're going to cover your core rotation and highlight the ones that will impact you the most. We're going to start things off with Flame Shock, because aside from your major cooldowns, which we will go over shortly, your main goal should almost always be to apply and maintain Flame Shock on your main target at all times. This is very important because as long as Flame Shock is active on the target, Lava Burst will always deal a critical strike. On top of that, the damage of Flame Shock has a chance to activate Lava Surge, which will reset the cooldown of Lava Burst and also make it an instant cast. So as long as Flame Shock is on the target, use Lava Burst whenever it's available. Aside from that, your main filler ability is going to be Lightning Bolt if you're fighting one enemy, or Chain Lightning when you're fighting multiple enemies. Use these abilities whenever you have nothing else to do, and you'll be using them a lot. Now, as you use Lightning Bolt, Chain Lightning, and Lava Burst, you have a chance to transform your next Frost Shock into Ice Fury. Using Ice Fury will cause your next Frost Shock to deal more damage, and you're free to follow this up if you want to. However, you can also save it for whenever you have to move. Since Frost Shock is instant cast, it'll be your main damaging ability whenever you have to move. More importantly, Ice Fury will also activate Fusion of Elements, which will cause one of your other abilities to also cast Elemental Blast when used. So make sure that you consume this effect before using Ice Fury again if it's up. Speaking of Elemental Blast, as you use your other abilities, you will be generating Maelstrom, which is your main resource. You can spend this on Elemental Blast or Earth Shock depending on which one you choose. Elemental Blast is a lot more powerful, but Earth Shock is easier to use since it's instant cast, which means you'll also be able to use it while you're moving. Either way, you want to make sure that you spend your Maelstrom before you max out on it so you can always generate more. Whenever you use Lava Burst, you will activate Master of Elements, which will increase the damage of one of your other spells. The reason why I've waited till now to mention this is because Master of Elements works great with your Maelstrom spenders. So if you have enough Maelstrom available and this buff is active, use your Maelstrom spender, which will be empowered by this buff, especially before you use Lava Burst again. If you don't have enough Maelstrom available when this buff is active, that's fine, just use whatever comes next, but you'll certainly get the most out of it with your spenders. And when you're fighting multiple enemies, you'll start spending your Maelstrom on Earthquake. Also, when fighting multiple targets, you really don't have to use Lava Burst. You can keep Flame Shock on your primary target, but it's way more effective to use Chain Lightning. You can save Lava Burst if you have a Lava Surge proc and you're moving, since it'll be instant cast. This is pretty much going to be your core rotation, and everything else we talk about is going to build on top of this. If you're following the Stormbringer hero path, then Lightning Bolt will occasionally transform into Tempest, and this will deal a lot of single target and multi-target damage, so make sure that you try and use Tempest whenever it becomes active. This is great to use in combination with Master of Elements, so try and make this happen whenever you can. Now, if you follow the Farseer hero path, then you will be required to take Primordial Wave as a talent. This is a very powerful cooldown that will deal damage to any target inflicted with Flame Shock. Using Primordial Wave will also activate Lava Surge as well as Splintered Elements. This buff will temporarily increase your haste based on the number of targets hit by Primordial Wave. So if you're fighting multiple enemies, it doesn't hurt to throw up a second Flame Shock before you use Primordial Wave just for a little bit of extra haste. Farseers will also gain an ability called Ancestral Swiftness. This will make your next spell instant, free, and deal a little bit more damage. It has a relatively short cooldown, so use it whenever it's available. Now we're going to talk about your major cooldowns, and the first one is going to be Ascendance. Using this will temporarily transform you, and to put it simply, will cause you to deal a lot more damage. Use this whenever it's available, but after you use Primordial Wave if you have that ability. This way you make sure that Ascendance benefits from Splintered Elements. Next up is Stormkeeper. Using this will empower your next 2 Lightning Bolts and Chain Lightnings and also make them instant cast. This is great to pair with Ascendance when you can, but Stormkeeper has a much shorter cooldown. So only delay it for a few seconds if Ascendance is about to come off cooldown. Otherwise, just use it whenever it's available. Last up is Storm Elemental, and this one, no surprise, will summon a Storm Elemental to fight alongside you temporarily. As it's active, your haste will slowly increase as you use Lightning Bolt and Chain Lightning. So use this whenever it's available. And that should hopefully be enough to help get you started with Elemental Shaman. There's a lot more that we could talk about for sure, but I've already covered so much ground and I want to try to keep things as simple as I can. I really do hope this video was helpful for you, and if it was, I would love to hear about it in the comments below. But with all that being said, I will see you guys on the next one.
Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, let me know by clicking that like button. And feel free to share it with your friends so they can enjoy it as well. And if you'd like to see more videos, you can subscribe to the channel and click on the bell icon to be notified as soon as new videos are posted. You can also follow me on Facebook, and if you'd like, you can support my work on Patreon. Links to all that stuff can be found in the description below. This is TheKephas. Until next time.